Oh, it looks like we are good to go. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm your boy NarikChase, and in this video, we are doing another character ranker. As you know, we are on the schedule, and on Mondays, we do character rankers, among anything else. But this one, we're going to do something a bit special. Now, we've always talked about how poorly a lot of the video game adapted films are. So in this one, we're going to talk about Shang Tsung, who was played by Cary Tagawa. Let me go ahead and get his name right. In the original Mortal Kombat, it came out in the 1990s. I think it was either 1990 or 1991. But Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa. Now, he played, of course, Shang Tsung. It's probably one of his most prominent roles that usually people recognize him from. But yes, he played the main antagonist. He played the main antagonist from that film. And let's see, what year did that come out? Actually, that came out in 1995. All right, then. So, yes, we're going to be talking about Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa, who played Shang Tsung in the 1995 adaptation of Mortal Kombat. Now, there's a lot of things that I liked about the character, that I liked about his performance, but there's also a lot of things that I didn't like about his performance, guys. So, we're going to go ahead and dive right into it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just say, guys, while we're here, go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe button to get the best of what we got going on this channel. You'll be able to get those things first thing, especially when you hit that notification button, because it'll let you know as soon as we upload these videos. Now, let's get back to the video. Now, what do I actually think about him? I think he did a good Shang Tsung in terms of the performance. I think he was probably one of the more memorable characters in the movie. I think he had a lot of presence. I think he did a good job delivering his lines. He made himself have this like really cool, threatening yet commanding presence in the film that always made him seem like he was shady and he could kick ass and all like that. Like there was a lot behind the character. But there are some things I did not like about his character. Now, particularly, I didn't like the physical aspect of the character. Not saying that his design wasn't cool. I mean, actually, his design was freaking amazing. In fact, his design of the outfit that he wore was better than all of the outfits that have ever appeared in the games. He actually had a more modernized look, but it also had a bit of this like ancient inspiration behind this. So I actually did not mind the actual look and design of the character. I thought he actually looked more badass. The clothing and stuff that he wore in the film. Now, is it diverse? No. You pretty much see him wear this same thing the entire film, which I wish they could have hammered out a little bit more, made it a little bit more diverse, so you'll get a better feel for how the character sees himself and his time and how he dresses up and things like that. So, as far as the actual like overall design of, I didn't mind it. Now, the differences from the source material, usually when you see Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat games, he can either appear old or young. And he's an ancient guy, and the reason why he's still alive because he absorbs souls, and the more souls he absorbs, the younger he gets. So, I just woke up this morning. But one of the things that I think that was kind of a misstep is they never showed that in the film. Like, I would have liked to see him be an old man, and then when you actually see him beat some guy up, and even in the initial first fight where Liu Kang is having this like dream of his brother getting his ass kicked and killed, that would have probably been a good scene for him to be old, and then when he absorbs his brother's soul, but he becomes young. Like that would have been a good thing to show, or at least during the initial fights when they finally get on the island where he kicks the guy's ass. This guy challenges him, he kicks the guy's ass, and then he absorbs the guy's soul. Or even when the guy got his ass kicked, and then he ended up absorbing that guy's soul in like the first fight. It would have been cool for him to be old, and then when he did it, you could see him turn young. That's one thing I wish they could have did in the movie, but they didn't do so. Is he a good or bad? I think he's actually pretty good. But like I said, there are some things I think they could have done better. That him absorbing the souls and making them younger. Initially, yeah, that would have been really cool stuff. This version that was portrayed in the film, I think, is more of an original version. Um, he was. I don't really see him being any versions. Yes, he maintains that same attitude. Now, in some ways, I think he seems a little bit more serious in the film. Uh, I do take him more seriously in the film than majority of the games. So I'm not sure what version of this character they were going for. And by this time, the first three games have come out, so they ain't like a whole bunch of deviation. But I'm not really. I'm not really. Is the character well written? I think he is for the most part, but at the same time, I think he isn't because you don't really get much of. You know, he's a bad guy. You know, after a while, what his motivations are. Well, I'm not really sure. Like, is he like a deep character? And when you think of a Mortal Kombat film, are we actually looking for deep characters? Like meaningful characters, or you just looking for that character with the specific traits to do a fight and see them specifically fight the way that they're written to fight. As a bad guy, I don't like. I've always rated my villains. They either be badass or they have personality. I think he has personality. I think he has a lot of personality. But I just don't see, and even though he does come across as like a badass, I don't see him as a badass. So, and and he does come out with some pretty cool one-liners and stuff like that. But I don't think he's particularly well written. No, I don't really think he's particularly well written. I mean, like I said, he is a villain, and this is Mortal Kombat, so I'll be going for like well written characters. But if you give the characters Johnny Cage and Liu Kang a look at them, it's like, yeah, they're pretty cool. I think they're a bit more well written. Sonya, no, she's not, and I can't wait to talk about her ass in another video. But I think, yeah, I think he isn't particularly well written. I don't think so. Um, Now, do they do a pretty good job of casting Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung? Actually, I think it is a really good cast. I'm not gonna say he's like the definitive cast, the definitive face of the character, but I think he does a pretty good job with the actual overall performance. Like I said, keeps the character being menacing. He makes the character pretty serious. He makes the character feel grounded, and Tagawa has always been known for his roles as kind of like these bad boys, uh, like triad gangster villain types mostly. So he does a great job of bringing that tough air, that arrogance, that tough guy feel to the character that actually does feel a bit natural. So it does work out well for the overall performance of him. And like I said, it's kind of hard for me to say that he actually owns the role because in actuality, the dude that played Johnny Cage, he works as Johnny Cage. Like, that's Johnny Cage. The guy that plays Liu Kang, yeah, that's Liu Kang. Like, I can buy that being Liu Kang. The chick that plays Sonya Blade from the second, from Mortal Kombat Annihilation, I don't mind her. She was good. The dude that played Jax, he's Jax. But like this guy, he's okay, but I can picture other actors that can definitely do a better job than him. Speaking of which, let me go ahead and just get down to them. I brought up two. Hiroyuki Sanada, he's good with a lot of physical aspects to the character, such as fighting. He's also played in a shit ton of like samurai movies and fighting movies. So and definitely he does have that air about him as well that can play a pretty good Shang Tsung in my opinion. He was in Rush Hour 3. He was in The Last Samurai, Wolverine, 47 Ronin. Been in a shit ton of other movies. I'm just going by the ones that I've actually seen him in. And he's always done a pretty good job as either a good fighter or a pretty good bad guy. So I could actually see him take the role as well. Also, Rick Yoon. Rick Yoon is one of my favorite Asian actors. He was a ninja assassin. He was in Marco Polo, The Man with the Iron Fist, Die Another Day. He's been in a lot of other things as well. And he's definitely not only got the physical aspect down, but he's definitely a really good actor. And I think he can definitely bring that edge to the Shang Tsung character as well. So I don't mind either Rick Yoon or Hiroyuki Sanada, which is kind of weird because this guy Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa, and then you got Hiroyuki Sanada. So I didn't think about that when I was coming up with the cast for it, but that's interesting. But yes, either one of those two would definitely do a good job as the character. The one thing I didn't like about his portrayal, his actual overall portrayal of Shang Tsung. They kind of went towards the movie. I didn't like the fights. I don't think, even though he kind of physically fit the character, we don't really get to see that. Like, there's no fight in this movie. Like, there's no moment in this movie where he was like fighting, and I was like, yeah, that was pretty badass. In fact, it kind of goes into the whole Mortal Kombat. Like, most of the fights are really stupid. The only fight in this movie of any damn relevance is pretty much the Scorpion versus Johnny Cage fight. Every other fight in this movie fucking sucks ass. It's a pity because in the climax you expect to see Shang Tsung character sit there and whoop ass. He does not do it. So I think it is a major step back that he unfortunately was not able to showcase the physical abilities or his physical fighting style, or even do the thing where, when you're playing a game and he can transform into different characters in the middle of a fight. Like, I would have liked to have seen that as well. Was not put in the damn movie. I don't know what the hell was wrong with the director, Paul W.S. Anderson. I do, because I'm sorry, the guy's okay, but he does make shitty video game movies. So I can honestly say I could kind of see why, and writing and stuff like that. But yes, physically, even though he is a great actor, he does not get the chance to do some badass things. So unfortunately, him being able to fuck shit up was not shown in the movie. So we don't really get to see that. And I've talked about the overall design of the character. I think he actually looks the role. I think the suits, I wasn't gonna say suits, but he only wore one damn suit in the whole damn movie. So I would have liked them to see him wear multiple suits that would have showcased a bit more of his style and culture and stuff like that throughout the film. But what we did get with the black suit, with the overcoat, and the overcoat had these really cool designs to it, was actually done pretty well. So I did not mind that. The whole thing where, his hair would be out and it'd be in a ponytail, didn't mind that either. I just wish that we could have done a bit more diversity when it came to his outfit, because if you sit there and watch the movie, you figure all of this stuff happens in like one day, and it don't actually. So it would have been really cool to actually see him do more in terms of his abilities as well. We really didn't get to see much to his abilities. Yes, you see him absorbing people's souls. Yes, you see him summon these stupid ass ancient warriors, whatever the hell he was doing, but that's about it. You see him transform into other people like twice, 2 or 3 times, but it was not used effectively. The first time was kind of pretty cool, but the rest of the time you don't really get to see him use his abilities, which again is another damn problem with this damn movie and him. So also, in terms of how important he was to the actual overall story, again, he had the personality. He's like this constant threat, but you never got to see him do anything pretty badass. He wasn't really important like that. In fact, most of the other characters that you see in the film that end up taking up the fights actually come off more important than him. Goro felt more, and it's for as shitty as Goro was or whatever, he came off more threatening. Kano, for shitty as that character was, he came off more threatening. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, seemed like every other character had better moments than him. So I wished, and even though he was like the main antagonist, and everybody knew he was the main antagonist, and they was, so you saw what he could do. You really did not get to see him be like, okay, this dude, even with his motivation, you don't really see it. So I wish they could have grasped that just a little bit. Of course, he's a bad guy, so you don't get no really no developing arcs or anything like that. Yes, he was a pretty prominent character. He just didn't really do anything. He did not do much. All you see is him kick Liu Kang brother's ass in the beginning of the movie, absorb a couple of souls, do a couple of speeches, and then at the end of the film, punk out, punk out or whatever, and he ended up fighting Liu Kang and got killed. So, and then even that was just bull. But like I said, I really would have liked to see him stand out a bit more. Now, in terms of the actual rank in our final verdict for Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung in the 1995 Mortal Kombat film, I would say that that he does carry the character in terms of the personality, even the way he looks. He does a great job of portraying Shang Tsung. But the film did a lot of missteps when it came to the character concerning his abilities, concerning his fighting style, a bit more towards how threatening and his motivation, and a bit of diversity on the character's part. I think that they like I said, they could have done a bit more better job with the character. But I'm not going to say the guy did a bad job. I actually liked him as Shang Tsung, and as of now, to me, he's like okay, yeah, he's a pretty good Shang Tsung. Um, so in the end, Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung in the 1995 Mortal Kombat deserves a 3 out of 5. That's what I'm going to give him, and I'm going to stick to those guns. So, guys, in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts about Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa's performance as Shang Tsung. What are some aspects to him that you wish they could have done a bit better? Is he like the definitive Shang Tsung? And also, would you like to see him return to the role? Yes, he made a little cameo in the Mortal Kombat Legacy, but I mean an actual active role. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button, guys, to get the best of what we got going on this channel. Because as you know, we do upload videos several times a week, and you can get the notification for those. So stay tuned for that, and we'll catch you guys later.